Kiss the ring. Cute. Is that the intro?
Previously at the Desert Project.
And then the moonwalk is the last part.
And that is how you arrive at that 90s
That
place.
is how you arrive. But before you arrive, you gotta dress to impress.
You gotta dress to impress.
You gotta dress
to impress. Is
to
it? That's
impress.
not family friendly. Does it need to be family friendly?
No, it can be family friendly. It can be for kids. It can be for adults. It can be for anyone in between.
That's the coolest thing. Anyone can live your life here, whether it's your childhood, whether it is your future, whether it is a version of your life you never had before. It's not too late to have a good childhood.
It hasn't hit me yet.
It's good you're wearing sunglasses just in case you cry. Before we go in, just so everyone is on the same page, Nicole reached out to me because she wanted to create, you tell them.
A space to be a kid again, an experience that you can have with other people that takes you back to a time that makes you feel nostalgic, that makes you feel joy, that makes you feel inflection. And that has been so much of the process creating this space for us. And we hope that all of the details inside take you somewhere. Every corner has a surprise.
The amount of detail in here is like my DNA. DNA stands for detail, no ways. Let's go.
One of my core things about this room was that it should be the main room where the group experiences nostalgia, which a lot of times is television, music, games, pop culture. Most important thing to me was the VHS collection because my idea for this experience came from me watching some old VHSs at the end of 2020 after a particularly rough 8 or so months and just wanting joy and not knowing why I was getting emotional, like watching trailers of VHS, but just being like, whoa, I want to magnify this by like 100. And I just want a whole time capsule of what this time felt like waiting for things, loading things, rewinding things, like everything wasn't so digital. And it was way more intentional when you were making choices about what you want to watch, what you want to listen to. Those realizations for me all stem from this tube TV. And it's really special because it kind of is the centerpiece of this room.
I will say this TV and this. I seriously played this in slow motion on a tube TV in the 90s, and this is how I learned how to dance.
And that's one of the first things we bonded over because on one of our first trips out here, we listened to the whole album on the way home.
Yeah.
And it was like that. I think that solidified that you understood the feeling I was trying to emit.
And the assignment,
yes.
Essentially. One thing leads to the next. Are we seeing this?
We have to be silent just for them to see it.
Well, get your hand out of the way.
Yeah, no, you're right.
Let's let them see it. Can you see that?
This artist, Brittany, made this incredible bead iron art of our favorite album from NSYNC, which is No Strings Attached.
I think the coolest thing about it is that we were wondering what to put here for so long. I actually made a different piece for this. I made a wood art piece, which is actually hanging over there. We were gonna put that here until we were like, it's not right.
No.
Like, what else is it? This was so monumental in my life, and the frickin' beads?
The frickin' beads, you guys.
I kinda am getting horny right now. The amount of detail, and not just the detail, the actual execution, but then to have the 90s beads with a 90s iconic album.
It's beyond. Which leads us to NSYNC part number 3 of the room.
I didn't realize this was like an NSYNC
For me.
museum, but it kind of is.
This is the art piece that Megan just casually whipped up on a Tuesday. I will point out that I was like, can you just make like some highlight thing? I don't know, it needs to pop. And she's like, what if I bevel, emboss, highlight the tip, paint it 2 colors, and twist the lip? And I was like, great!
That was your own version of Bop It. No one would ever look at this. But I love that there's wood elements because that tube TV.
Get a load of this inflatable chair.
What if you kicked it and I was like,
No, I was imagining me kicking it and you just projectile.
it's like a Jackass moment.
Speaking of Jackass, you will see many of your favorite TV classics here. We got Amanda Show, all the way to, you know, I told you I was gonna be this way. Thank you. My personal favorite of the 90s, which got overlooked because it was queer, Will and Grace. Anyway, moving on.
If you had to choose one
I couldn't.
VHS movie to explain your childhood, is this sad?
I would say Space Jam. That's just like my vibe. Space Jam isn't a great film. It's just iconic because it's awful, which is mostly what the 90s was.
The 90s was horrible for design.
Yeah.
And that was such a interesting conundrum for me to do when you were like, I want to do a 90s house. What does that look like?
The floral curtains, mismatched patterns.
That's why I love this, because you're getting the 90s experience, but it has this modern elevated flair to it, where it feels like if you desaturated all of it, anyone would be able to live here.
Right. It's really about the color.
And the play of it all.
12 hours later.
You won! Nah. Why was he like that?
Because that was the 90s too, psych.
Yeah, wait, then the paperclip was kind of an asshole too. Remember?
He was like, let's try that again.
You're like, proofread this.
Bop It. Pogs. We got some Goosebumps, some Junie B. Jones. Junie B. Jones loves Handsome Warren. It's very hetero again. We have some Choose Your Own Adventure.
Rugrats binder.
Yep, Trapper Keeper.
This is our guest book. This is when I realized I don't know how to draw a shark. I was trying to draw Jaws.
Yeah, you're right. It didn't work out.
Easy bake oven. This is the last time I really, actually, never mind. I was gonna be self-deprecating, but you know, we passed that.
One more thing about the pop culture, we wanted to have so many books. Friends puzzles. We have some Guess Who. Oh my God, Guess Who tonight? You wanna do it without actual, like with only clues about like who we think they are?
Like internally?
Right.
Emotionally?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. All kinds of pop culture games.
I think this is where my artist career came from. I got it in a box. For some reason, this is like religious to me almost.
Yeah.
If you've never seen this before, this is picture riddles.
Show them the good stuff.
Okay, clothespin clamp.
I can't see it.
I can't see either.
Oh my God, this is even hard for adults. Well, now this is just.
Here, I found it!
Woo! So you get to pick the CD that we're gonna put on for.
You already know.
I do know.
Royalty-free Green Day.
Okay, that was great.
Next room. Let's go! This room is my favorite room of all of the rooms, and I know that we joke and say all of them are our favorites, and how could we decide?
Yeah, no, I could never decide. But I choose this.
If this room had a personality, and when I was choosing colors for you to look at, this was my inspiration.
Right.
This room feels like Reptar chic to me. It really does.
It's funny because it's true.
You get the purples, you get the periwinkles, you get the blues.
Oh, look at that little home for it. I mean, come on, yeah.
Oh, you mean on this?
Oh, on
denim luggage rack?
on the custom made by MeganBatoon?
Oh, you want him to go there? This is the juxtaposition of childhood and adulthood in one.
Okay, there.
Love it.
Okay.
Okay. Check it out at that 90s place on Instagram.
Back to the tour. We hope that this brings you many, many memories of joy and confusion of puberty. This is from a friend of mine's company, Pair of Plants. You may recognize these as being owned by I'm a genie in a bottle, baby. Supposed to put plants in them, but honestly, just the pottery alone is incredible.
This room is chock full of tiny little secrets. Everything is authentic.
One of my favorite things, gotta celebrate this playfulness. To open the drawer and see that, I gasped. Something else I love about this room, and something everyone points out when I first showed them, are these pools. Like, you know this is a custom piece. The monochromatic tone of it doesn't make it stand out as much, but then when you zoom in on the details, it's so adult, but in such still a 90s way.
I think that this is one of my favorite vignettes.
Oh wait,
in
sorry,
the
I'm getting a
entire...
call.
Oh, of course. Yeah, we are just
It's
busy,
on my
busy.
BlackBerry, so I have
Oh,
to get it.
I actually needed to jump on that call as well.
Oh my God, did we both put this prop in our pocket?
That's odd. Because this is my actual phone.
Is this Megan? You never know what you're gonna find. Shh.
Okay, ask a question.
Is that 90s place the best place in the world?
It fell in between two options. It's whatever you want it to be. Schrodinger's vacation rental. So this bathroom all started with this pendant. Take me to your leader. This process has been so messy at times where we lose a ton of things.
Yeah.
And at one point I had ordered a really beautiful arched mirror.
Right.
We have no idea where it went.
Not a clue.
This mirror was initially in the guest bedroom when we bought the property.
Right.
And it was the only thing that we had left and we had run out of budget. So we put it here and we love it.
I love it.
It elongates a room that otherwise would be a little bit smaller.
I do feel like it makes the room taller. This shower was crazy to tile. She did it. You can fit two in here.
Yeah. No,
Have a blast.
Oh my God, remember when we were dancing in here when there was no walls?
Oh my God, I do. Now we're dancing in with ring pops. Clink. I just love the details of these. What would you call these, Megan?
Little acrylic kisses.
Acrylic kisses. The tie-ins of that in each bathroom and the sinks and the soap dispensers and the tile, but they're with a different color. It makes you feel like when you're in each room, like they really are communicating to each other.
Absolutely.
Yeah, and that makes this feel so intentional, and that I really, really love that.
I hope you heard the slurp. This is the kitchen. This kitchen, I will say, was the scariest room for me because I had no idea what it was gonna be. All I really knew is that I wanted the circular architectural detail here. That was the very first thing that we did to this house. Before we touched any other tool was this circle and that arch. But I am so happy with how it did turn out. We had like 5 different ideas. This is the one that kind of came at the very end.
Yeah, it was not all thought out in the beginning, which was something that we were able to do with every other room.
This room put itself together.
Yeah.
In a way.
The sink is a huge staple of, I think, what set the tone for color. It brought us into this kind of warmish palette. The chairs with the wall, that palette feels so mature, but somehow still this texture feels so 90s.
These chairs were one of the only things that we kept from the original property. This was the
dining room table that was here when we bought the property.
This, I feel like, is my favorite detail. All of the curves. The curves on the pulls, the curves on the switch plates. Anywhere there's you know where there's another curve?
Show them the curve.
There's a curve here.
Show them the other curve.
There's a curve here.
There's another curve, one more over here.
And then there's one more. We had bought this and thought that it would be enough for our pantry. It definitely wasn't. So I used some scrap wood and made, I guess, a curvy built-in.
She made a built-in.
Walks off camera. What's your favorite part of the kitchen?
The function.
So boring. That is, I think, why we're such a good duo,
Yeah,
too,
it is.
because Nicole
It
is
is.
so function and experience oriented, and I am so visually and experience oriented. So our Venn diagram really overlaps a lot, also
cute.
artistically.
Yeah.
Which was really nice because I feel like it would be hard to find another person that would be on the same like color wheel
Right.
as me. And we be coloring.
My favorite part about the kitchen, it is the continuous line. Because that makes this kitchen feel so elevated and so luxurious in a way that all of the things functionally that I bought and needed, like you made a way to have them all sing together. Like, I mean, it even goes behind the fridge. Like, it's the detail of making it feel so cohesive because of that continuous line, which is something that you said in the beginning that I was like, I just want to get something here for people to put their food.
5 months later,
Right.
any of that?
Yeah. Oh
Yeah.
my God, your tongue is blue from the ring pop.
I know I have so many favorite details, but this one I really geek out over. The fact that this room is split in half. In Willy Wonka's office, everything is cut in half. So I really wanted to do like a tiny homage to that. Not only as far as your eye can see, but also through the door and the door handle.
It's a great view. This was the last thing we tiled in the house, so we were able to have the most refinement here because like, what is this? This just like, you won't notice this when you come in because it just looks like a house, but someone did that. This was the someone.
It took a long time.
The purple grout.
Yeah,
The purple grout, you guys.
Yes. That's the thing. It's like we have this inside joke where Nicole talks about the design and she's like, keep looking. I actually have this funny photo that I took of you at a bar.
Don't put that in the video.
That is the meme of, I feel like, this house. Like, keep looking.
We want you to keep looking.
Everything is so intentional, from the experiences to the design to how you feel when you wake up, the way that the light plays in each room. It feels so viscerally, I don't know if there's a word for it. Not in America. I feel like Korea probably has a word for this. I don't think you will be able to find another feeling like this. Let me get some.
Get your sticky hand out of here. Get your sticky. It's not gonna happen for you.
It's always gonna happen for me.
I feel like this room is the room I wish I could have had when I was a kid, for sure. It's the detail of so much of what was important to me as a kid.
It's an homage to your childhood in an adult, grown-up way. You want to have a moment?
I'm having a moment. I am having a moment. These were some of the first things that I purchased before we even started looking for a house, before the idea was fully formed. And I know that a lot of my friends were looking at me crazy when I was spending my money on, like, I don't know, Ronald McDonald's watches.
Even if it went like that? Did you show them it did that?
They didn't care. There's so many feminine touches to this room, in my opinion, like these brighter colors and even how the transition from the kitchen doors brings you into this space and the place for the hats.
The arches, all of the curves here, I wanted to add in order to bring it to be gender neutral.
These were cabinets. So it was like one big cabinet that you would like put pots in, and then this was another cabinet that they had all kinds of plates and a microwave in.
There was no back, so you would just look at the kitchen. So if you opened
From the bedroom.
the pantry, you would wave at somebody.
Once we started putting the sport aesthetic in here, it made me be like, well, I want to put my shoes on right here from this Blockbuster bag.
When I was building this, you had said, I really love the colors purple, red, and teal. They're electric, I think is the word that you used. Purple, red, and teal are echoed in this room in so many different little vignettes. This is, I feel like, the first place where I was like, I need to make sure that you have those colors.
Right.
To the desk here, the basketball, down to the red on the chair and the stereo, you get a little deeper, moodier reds.
Yeah.
You have some maroons, some rusts. Can we just talk a little bit
Let's talk
about
a little bit.
the gold to the yellow to the gold? Yeah, that's how I feel. I feel brighter. Burgundy to amber, down to more burgundy, and this is the best burgundy collaboration that we've ever done.
That's true.
This shower ceiling, we had never tiled a shower like it. We've never tiled anything before this.
Yeah.
We ran out of space and material, and we got really creative, and we
Right.
ended up cutting all of these tiny little tiles and making a border. This is a custom shower, probably would have cost maybe $5,000 for a tile job.
Yeah.
All of these tiles were placed individually from a sheet that was bought at a garage sale.
That's true. I love the similar sinks but different tone. It's like something that I feel is a way that some of the rooms are tied together, but it's not the same product. It's very cohesive to me, especially the way that we did the tile sink combo in each bathroom.
Is it just us geeking out about what we've done?
Yeah, it is. It is.
A lot of people think the kitchen is the heart of the home. The anatomy is different for this girl.
Yeah.
Every kid wanted a hangout. This was originally a closet. We have Nintendo 64 and PS1 in what we call the game Cove. I did not ever have a Nintendo growing up, but I always remember wanting to play Tony Hawk Pro Skater 2 at my cousin's house because he had it. And every holiday or what have you, when I'd be there, I would just be locked in the room doing this. And my mom's like, see, that's why we're not getting one, because all you want to do is play the video game. And now look at us. Now all of our cell phones are just glued to our heads.
We also think that this is the coolest thing that either of us have ever seen, and we've seen a lot of cool things.
We've seen a lot of cool things, and this by far is one of the most special.
It's the biggest thing I've ever worked on.
It's the longest project that I've ever executed. Big and long.
Let's, anyway, see you soon!
I'm MeganBatoon. It's just a tip, we're not legit.